Alright, so I reviewed the first Aladdin from 1992. Now let's go into the direct-to-video sequels. And first off, I'm going to review The Return of Jafar, which doesn't have the name Aladdin in the title, which is funny enough. This was the first direct-to-video Disney sequel that was released. And make of that what you will, because the Disney sequels, for the most part, are utter failures. Not all of them are like the worst thing ever, but there's some pretty bad ones. There's even a couple great ones. But the Disney direct-video sequels was definitely a marketing thing that Disney wanted to do, where they didn't want to make them theatrical because The Rescuers Down Under didn't do good. So they decided to do direct-to-video sequels that were not, for the most part anyway, in the same quality as the theatrical films. So it's kind of a big failure on Disney's part. But, and I've reviewed a couple on this channel before, I think Cinderella 2 and 3. Which is funny. One of the worst, Cinderella 2, and one of the best, Cinderella 3. So, this might be the next... Oh no, I reviewed Bambi 2 as well, if I'm going in order of Disney films released. So, yeah, The Return of Jafar, again, the first direct-to-video Disney sequel released. It, you can tell immediately that this is way much less quality, like way lower quality than the animation and film. This is very TV style animation. It's not the worst animation out of all the direct-to-video movies, but it's not great, or really, it's not really great at all. It's very, very TV animation. It's cool though that the main cast, besides Robin Williams, they all came back. I did like that. Now, Robin Williams didn't come back because of apparently a big feud between him and the studio, because I don't remember if he wanted more money or if he didn't get enough money for Aladdin, the first one, so he didn't come back for the second one, and he is replaced by Dan Castellaneta, who voices Homer Simpson. You can tell this is Homer Simpson the way he talks in this movie. And he'll also voice Genie in the Aladdin TV series as well. Robin Williams does come back for Aladdin and the King of Thieves, but that's the last Aladdin property thing in the original films. But as of now, we have Homer Simpson voicing the Genie in this movie, and he's fine, but you could just tell it's not Robin Williams. You can't tell. You can tell it's not him. It's not like it's a bad performance. It's just like it's not the same magic as the last one. Even though Dan Castellaneta is a great voice actor, I guess it's good that they picked him. If they had to pick somebody, I guess it's kind of close to that, I guess, because he can replicate voices, but it just feels like Homer Simpson when you hear the voice, unfortunately. And it's funny enough, Jason Alexander is also in this too, and he would go on to voice other characters in other Disney movies, whether it's direct-to-video or not. He'd also go to voice a character in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, one of the gargoyles, and then he'd be in 101 Dalmatians 2, which another direct-to-video movie I actually have reviewed. Forgot about that one. And Hunchback 2, like a really bad direct-to-video movie. And he's fine, and this is cool seeing Jason Alexander, and this I thought it was funny that he's involved, and it's just funny that he goes on to do a lot of other Disney voice roles in the future. So I thought that was funny that he's in this, and I do think he's fine as this like stooge guy who like lets Jafar loose, and Jafar comes back, even though the last movie said that he would be like buried in the Cave of Wonders for like millions of years, is what the genie said at the end of the first movie. Now the story though, I do think that this one and The King of Thieves both have a story that feels a little bit like it was warranted as a sequel, because this movie, it kind of feels like the main character is Iago, weirdly enough, because the other characters are here, but Iago is the one who has the story arc. He's the one who has the change. Iago from the last movie was a bad guy, and this one he's a good guy, and Aladdin has to convince everybody that he's not a bad guy anymore. And Iago's the one who makes the choice at the end to save everybody and help them out, and it's a cool difference with Iago as a character, and I did like that. I did appreciate that. So I did appreciate that this one did something different with that. Even though it's direct-to-video, it has a plot that it's not like, say, Cinderella 2, which is like 3 episodes of a non-existent TV show that are literally like put together to make a movie, or like Fox and the Hound 2, or like it's just them playing with a band. Like, it's not like that. This plot at least feels like it's, even though it's similar to the first one, it feels like this one is at least a little more warranted with Iago and his character change. I do like that. I didn't mind that at all. So this feels a little more warranted than your typical Disney sequel, but it's not great. And the songs in this are a mixed bag, because I liked a couple of these songs. A couple of these songs I really didn't like. I thought that they had a weird like mixture of like, some of these songs are really catchy and I like them, and then some of these are just really just like the ones with Iago singing was just kind of like, I don't know, like it was kind of weird. It didn't really, it was weird, but it makes sense because he's the character that changes. But like, it's just weird having Gilbert Gottfried sing these songs in the Iago voice. And I didn't mind the Genie song. I like the song where like he comes back and he is singing to Aladdin and Jasmine about, even though he's gone, he wanted to be with them because there's nothing in the world quite like a friend, which is the name of the song. And I didn't mind the part with Jasmine singing in the song where Iago sings, where he's talking about just forget about love. Like, I like that song where she and Aladdin are singing, but not really Iago singing. So I didn't mind a couple of the songs, but the other songs were really forgettable. For the most part, this one is just forgettable in a lot of instances, except for Iago as a character and his change. I do like that, and that makes us feel a little more warranted. But it's not theatrical. The animation isn't that great. The music isn't that great, except for a few for me. The story is kind of the exact same movie again, because Jafar by the end is let loose again and they've got to fight him again. So it's very, it's like they tried to have this feel a little warranted to exist, but then also they had to keep it in the boundaries of being, this is a sequel to Aladdin, we got to make it like Aladdin, like a lot like it. And I thought that they, like, it's not as like annoying as like Lady and the Tramp 2 or like Little Mermaid 2, where like those two direct-to-video sequels are literally just the same movie with the kids instead, like Scamp and Melody from Little Mermaid 2. Like, both of those characters in both those movies were just the exact same story, but with the kids. In this one, it is kind of the same story, but Iago at least is a difference, and I do like that and appreciate that. I can see snippets of heart put into this movie. I could see it. I could see parts of it having a little heart to it. All the voice cast is back, except for Robin Williams. So you've got that, and then you've got some music, which is okay, and you've got a story that, while it's the same, it does try to elevate some other characters like Iago. So I did like how they do different things, even though this is still just kind of forgettable. But I like to point out those things, because those things should be noted. So basically that's it. I feel like there's heart in it, but it didn't have enough because of the budget, because of it being direct-to-video. It didn't have much of a foundation to really be successful, if that makes sense. So basically that's all I could say about Return of Jafar. It is a okay, average direct-to-video sequel with a couple things that I think are alright about it. So that's my thoughts on Return of Jafar. Tell me down below in the comments, do you like it or do you dislike it? I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to have conversations with you guys. And next up will be Aladdin and the King of Thieves. And also, if you like this video, check my links down below. Patreon, Twitter, Letterboxd. So thank you guys so much again for watching.